And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about helping you understand more about your buying decisions, helping you avoid a lot of the commission-based advice that's so prevalent in our community. And we want you to save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell
That's our
phone.
consumer advocate hotline number, 813-670-7372. Again, over 80 categories of consumer advocate content and advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, where we can help you win in any marketplace, as we say.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number as well as book our website, consumerqb.com. Bookmark our website, that is consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And a big shout out to Taps Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Taps Restaurant over at the International Plaza on Bay Street. Excellent food, very friendly staff, and a wonderful ambiance. We're also hosting an event there. Save the date. It's Wednesday, March 25th, 6:30 to 8:30. We're hosting Tampa Bay's best business networking event here, right here in Tampa Bay at Taps Restaurant, located at the International Plaza on Bay Street. It's a great restaurant. They've got daily happy hours as well, 2 to 7 p.m. as well. And we got a great event coming up in March. Save the date and check out the tickets are available on eventbrite.com. Great lineup for you today. Let's go around the horn, make our introductions here in studio. We got Fred Muth back in studio, a.k.a. the Tin Man.
Am I on?
Tampa.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Tampa screens and aluminum. You know, I'm still at it. What can I say? I thought I could slow down. Still not happening. Can't
That's a nice
slow
looking
down.
shirt, too, man.
I took
Good
it right
shirt.
off of Ricky's back. Ricky, I said, Ricky, I want that shirt. He wouldn't give it to me.
Oh,
I
man.
got it.
You got it?
No, you met Ricky, right?
I think so, yeah. We had lunch.
I don't think that would have happened in reality.
Yeah, right.
He wouldn't let it go that easy.
Big boy.
Anyway, hello, Heather. Hey, Matt, welcome back.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, we had a nice conversation in the break room out there.
Yeah.
Haven't seen this. I remember him. I haven't seen him in a while.
Inside joke.
Yeah, exactly. We got Heather Lalk in studio as well. Fit to a T. Welcome in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here as always.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I want to talk about a little bit about some of the really great, cool things that are going on at the studio. It's a private boutique one-on-one studio. I have small boot camp, couples workouts, buddy workouts, and strict individual workouts to help people get inspired, motivated, and reach their goals for healthy lifestyle changes.
I like that. Got seminars coming up as well. Talk about nutraceuticals, some CBDs, and different things happening in Dunedin, Florida.
Exactly. And Dunedin is all the buzz now. So there's a lot going on in that little community, and it's growing every single year. So if you're not familiar, just come on down and just take a look. Where I'm right by the trail and right across from the water. So beautiful views and a nice way to walk around.
I love it. It's being active. Fit to a T. Heather Lalk in studio. Matt DiMaio, welcome in, sir.
It's always a pleasure to be back here, Brandon. Thanks so much for having me. Today, I want to talk about helping kids do better in school, how to get better grades with less study time, better comprehension, and a whole lot less frustration. And for all of your business listeners, you know, having a bad memory or being forgetful is expensive. It can cost you time, money, embarrassment, damages your credibility, and it reduces your reputation.
Yep.
And so I offer practical, proven strategies to help people right away to be smarter, faster.
I like that. Be smarter, faster. And the Maestro method as well. Matt DiMaio in the house. He's got a great YouTube channel as well. YouTube.com/Be Smarter, Faster. Check him out online. I've known him for multiple years now, 4 or 5 years or so. And does a great job. He's very impressive with what he can teach you. So, all right, great lineup for you here today on the Consumer Quarterback Show. As you know, I'm the owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. So I want to let you know about a couple of hot listings. We got 861 Mandalay Avenue over on Clearwater Beach. This is a gorgeous beach property, and you are literally 200 steps from the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of North Clearwater Beach. 861 Mandalay Avenue, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. There's actually a 3rd bedroom in the back as well, and it's got a cool patio area, outdoor shower, and access to the Bay, of course. And also great property opportunity at 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O Lakes. This is a developer's dream. Builders, developers, check it out. 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O Lakes. Now, this is on a 90-acre ski lake, and what we've got there is 8 lots available. There's 5 waterfront and 8 total lots available at 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O Lakes. We're listed right at $1 million. So great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Check out all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, let's jump right into it. Fred Muth in the house, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. What's happening, man?
Oh, it's the same thing. Mr. Bowman, our AC guy, was on the other day, and he took the words right out of my mouth. He was talking about the construction industry and how it's nothing but price-based, and get 3 bids, try to go for middle bid. Low bid is generally a problem because we all work the same way.
Yep.
And if you're 20% lower, there's a reason.
Something's going
and
on.
boy, he's listening. He's saying this, and I'm saying I got to get on the radio and I got to just echo what Mr. Bowman said. And it's unfortunate because a lot of the homeowners are deceived by low bid salesmen.
Right.
And I've seen in our industry, the aluminum business, where they'll bid it low and then they'll come back after they contract it and they'll want to make add-ons, unnecessary add-ons to bring the price back up. In some cases, they're adding on a product that we were originally bidding in the first place, even though our bids are detailed. The first guy in doesn't really cover all of that. Basically, he's assuming that everybody's going to bid the job correctly.
Yeah.
But boy, it's amazing how that can work out. And I've seen a lot of poor construction go on in this industry, not only in the in the aluminum, but even AC and everything else. And the consumer really needs to be aware of low bid contractors.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see it on the real estate side too. People say, "Oh, well, you cut your commission to this." The challenge is if you start doing that, it's like where am I going to spend money on marketing? How am I going to have a little profit for myself? I got to pay Uncle Sam. I got to pay the broker.
Sure.
So they say, "Oh, well, we get beat up over like 3%, right?"
Yeah. And the thing is, you work for your money. I know because I carry the same license, and I did quite a bit of real estate in my past. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's why I sell screen rooms.
That's right.
But for 3% or for even 4%, by the time you get there, you spent your 3% in a lot of cases. And then you go forward with the deal, basically hoping to get a referral on the back end.
Right.
That's pretty much how it works.
Sure.
So no matter what the industry is, the low ticket is generally not the best ticket.
Good point. Yeah. And I always say too, there's good, better, and best in every industry. And
Absolutely.
you can find out when you meet people and you talk to them, and then the folks that try to save that nickel or dime and they look back, they're like, wow, there was a lot of headaches that it was attached to that. Sure.
And then with Tampa Screens, you deal with me initially, and then basically I design and I put it together and I sell it. And then from that point forward, we have our construction manager, Virgil, him and I think alike. We consult on every job, and then he picks it up from there and works with the crews. And if there's questions that come through, it goes right into Diana. She answers all questions coming through. If it's something that I didn't cover, they get back to me. You get this whole circular motion of people involved in the industry. The bottom line is the finished product is a beautiful product.
Yes. And we're talking about Tampa Screens and Aluminum screen rooms, patios,
pool
lanais,
enclosures.
Screened enclosures.
I probably sell more pool cages than I do anything at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're selling a lot of the panoramic view enclosures. Man, they're pretty.
They are.
You have a $750,000 home with a nice backdrop, and that cage is there with all them uprights in front of you. Hey, let's get that out of there. Let's open that up and make it a very nice view on the back end.
And it adds value to the real estate too. I mean, that's a key aspect there. Is that people look at a lot of times. We have Ray the appraiser, on the show, and they're saying, what are things that I can add? Where can I invest money into my property and actually get value back when I sell?
Yeah, sure. And Ray's my customer.
That's right.
We did his cage.
That's awesome.
He was a great guy to deal with. And that's the thing. When you deal with a guy that's knowledgeable about the real estate industry, he's not going to choose low bid because he knows better.
Right. Yeah, you got to be careful. We're talking with Fred Muth here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, longtime friend of the program. If you're looking to put an addition onto your home, highly recommend Fred Muth and his team, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Going to make sure you lay the design out right, the percolation, the water.
Well, I was going to save that for the second round.
There you go. Yeah,
I could talk all day about that.
Exactly.
I have
the permitting. That's another challenge. What about the aluminum costs? Are they still?
Well, the aluminum cost right now, I believe. I hate to say this, I believe they're stable. Now next week I'll get a notice that they're going up, right? Since I said that.
Yeah.
But typically, I see increases every year around the 1st of April. And I think the industry is geared that way because they know that people get their tax returns back and they buy screen rooms.
There you go.
So if they're going to do that, let's up the aluminum.
Could be
28 years I've been doing it, so 28 going on 29. It's notorious. Every April it goes up a little bit.
Yeah.
Not enough to scare you.
Yeah.
Okay. It goes up enough to scare you after the storms go through.
Right.
That's when the prices go completely unstable.
Yeah, exactly.
But permits, you mentioned the painful permit process. The painful permit process is becoming less painful right now, and I believe that's because the real estate market is becoming a little more stable. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it seems to be stable. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's not on the uprise like it was.
Right.
So there's less new homes coming out of the ground, which means they can devote some time to the screen enclosure permits, because the screen enclosure permit would go on the back burner at the county, because the house permit goes on the front burner.
Right.
And in some cases it took 2 months to get a permit for a patio.
Right.
That's out of line.
Yeah.
But now it's less. It's a little less than that.
Yeah, good stuff. We got Fred Muth here in studio, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Heather Lalk coming up as well. Next, we're going to talk Fit to a T, talk about her boutique facility that she has in Dunedin. Got seminars coming up as well, CBD, all kinds of cool stuff here. We got Matt DiMaio in studio as well, memory expert, and also talks about the Maestro method at his YouTube channel, Be Smarter, Faster. Stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our feel-good story of the day is a good one as well. Dad builds custom gaming controller for daughter with disabilities. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it. Ask Anthony about Florence Law.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that kind of stuff. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections for
Backles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. We're actually recruiting agents right now as well. If you know of any agents looking to join a team, we would love to help them grow their business and become a top agent in the area, utilizing our radio and TV show model coupled with internet and social media marketing as well. And this segment is brought to you by Golf Cart Depot. Check them out online, golfcartdepot.com. New and used golf carts, huge inventory, and they have either for personal use or commercial use. Check them out online, golfcartdepot.com. Say hello to Marty and the team over there. They do a great job. They're in Land O'Lakes off of US 41 North there, and also in Clearwater, just off of US 19. You see them on the east side of US 19 there in Clearwater. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you, whether you're using it for personal use or commercial use. Check it out. There's my Keller Williams red golf cart that they hooked me up with, and we're getting out there and using that for commercial use in the neighborhood, going out and door knocking the neighborhood and talking to the neighbors, selling our real estate listings in the area. So check them out online. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. golfcartdepot.com, golfcartdepot.com. All right, we're back here in studio. You heard from Fred Muth in the first segment. Now we're going to talk with Heather Lalk, fit to a T, personal training expert, nutrition expert here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So, yeah, you're talking about the seminars coming up. You got some interesting opportunities for people to get involved with the seminars as well.
Yeah, I actually started it a little bit before the holidays, a few months, just to see how that was. I wanted to give back to the community. So I got some other people that I worked with, specialists that can talk about what they believe in, things that I've utilized within my lifestyle changes and healthy lifestyle. I'll be doing some as well about nutrition and health. We're going to do some things about nutraceuticals, including the CBDs I carry at my studio. We're also going to talk about anti-aging, which is a big, huge thing these days, especially since a lot of people are turning a little bit or adding onto their Western medicine. Doctors, they want to learn a little bit more how to, stay healthy and stay youthful for a long period of time. So I'm kind of pairing up with some other organizations with that are specialists. Going to do a walking club. Cool. Especially because Dunedin is such a great place, and the Pinellas Trail is right there, and the Honeymoon Island. So I've got that. And then also I've been pairing up some other doctors, medical professionals, especially chiropractors, because they see people that maybe have had a car accident or trauma in the past. They come in for adjustments, acupuncture, things of that nature. Right. But we also love to tell them we need therapeutic stretching. Stretch that soft tissue. It helps with recovery. It helps prevent injuries, no matter what your age. Because without stretching, you have nothing. Yeah. And unfortunately, we get older, myself included, and busier, that we forget that that's something we need to do every day. Right. So that's what I do with my clients after every session. But I'm also doing that with the direction of some other doctors as well with their clients. So also rehabilitative exercises, which can continue them getting better from whatever might have happened, whether it's the injury from an accident or just daily living.
And stretching is such a vital part, right? It
is. It's huge. I mean, a lot of people love to do yoga. They do Pilates. It's also good to have someone else stretch you in positions that you can't get yourself. And then also, I also teach people things that they can do while they're watching TV or in the privacy of their own homes. It only takes about 5-10 minutes. If you just kind of put that in your regimen every day, you'll be much stronger and avoid those injuries.
Yeah, especially, I find myself doing my hands a lot, the wrists coming down like that, doing huge. Those types of things.
Yeah, you don't realize even chiropractors, they can adjust your feet, they can adjust your wrists. I actually have had really bad grip, so I couldn't be really, I'm strong in my back when I'm doing a lot of my workouts. However, I had to wear claws just because I don't have any type of grip. So it's hard when I'm moving things. So that's helped, increase that a lot.
Yeah.
So I have really good things to say about that too.
We're talking with Heather Lalk here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Fit to a T is also the website, fittoat.net. For the website. And assisted stretch, you mentioned that's one of my favorite things back in the day, is getting that assisted stretch, having someone help you get to a better stretching point.
Right. And you can utilize things like Swiss balls. I also utilize a yoga wheel. I make sure that people, they don't have herniations and things, and I get clearance from the doctors before we try anything out of the ordinary. But I also help them do that as well on foam rollers, and then they can have those at home too. There's bands and that I use as well. So that's helps them. And I've also been told by a lot of my clients, even when they're older, that it's helped with spinal flexion, and they're actually easier to adjust when they go to the doctor.
Nice. Yeah, the more pliable you are, the more you're on a system and a workout protocol, for example. What would be something? So you're working with clients that come into your studio. You're also hosting these seminars and events. But walk us through like a typical workout if someone were to join up with you.
We would come in and I would actually do a free assessment. I'm offering that as well as a free session. I also have another one I'll talk about later, a special coming up for this new spring that's coming up. But you come in, you warm up for about 10 minutes or so. I have multiple types of cardio equipment, and then we also do a little bit of a warm-up, stretching involved, a lot of core exercises, and then I specifically tailor that workout to the individual based upon their goals, their age, maybe things that they have dysfunction that we need to rehab with. So, and then at the end we would do a cool down, and we would also do the stretching. In there too, I can do Tabata. I put some HIIT workouts if people are in condition, and conditioning is a huge part. I try not to push people right away, so they get discouraged, they get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just not productive at all, counterproductive. So I try to get everybody, because I said the most important muscle in our bodies is our heart. So if you're not conditioned to get to that point, we need to get that heart going first, conditioning wise, and then we can do all kinds of fun, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So
and you exercise the heart by doing cardiovascular, by doing the core, by everything's, you're pumping in the blood's pumping.
Yeah, and you can put in a really good workout within 45 minutes or 30 minutes. But you can't right out the gates if you're not in shape or you've taken some time off. It's easy to go backwards than to go forwards a lot of times. So if we can ease ourselves into that, then we're ready to get to the next point, the next level.
So let's make an offer then. You said you offer a free assessment and a free session.
Correct.
For the first 3 listeners. Let's have our listeners out there, viewers of the show, text in. Just text personal training or free session to 813-670-7372 if you are in the Dunedin area and would like to take Heather Lalk up on that. Reach out to 813-670-7372, and you are a certified personal trainer right here in the Tampa Bay area. Know a lot about nutrition. I can't remember if you're certified in nutrition as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
A certified nutritional health coach. I went to Institute for Integrative Nutrition out of New York.
Nice.
So I learned about 102 different dietary theories.
Wow.
But we were taught every person is different. There's bits and pieces of every one of those diets is fantastic and wonderful, and it's worked for those individuals maybe that came out with those, have written about them.
Yep.
But you have to pick and choose what's your body's going to thrive best on.
Right.
And that's what I try to help my clients to build that platform. I also can assist them saying, okay, these are the stores that you can save money. They have healthy organic foods with the least amount of pesticides. So they know going, out the gate, they can go to a store and know exactly what to get to start integrating it. And it's not take the diet out of your vocabulary, the diet mentality, because that's just a failure waiting to happen. You need to really integrate and start slowly by integrating a new healthy lifestyle changes, foods, and then by nature, it's kind of like crowding out those bad habits, those bad foods start falling off.
Yeah.
And the more you educate people, the easier it is for them to understand what's good and what's not so great.
Yeah, it's there was a study I saw, or a statistic somewhere, that habits are thousands times more powerful than just sheer will alone. So if you try to will it into existence, or say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to, the prime example is that person that goes to the gym 2 hours the first day, hardcore, then after a week they're done, right? Because they don't, but it's the habit. If you can say, hey, I'm going to do 15 minutes 3 times a week, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you can do at a minimum, that way you commit to it and you're not overexerting yourself. I always say to my clients too, the old school tried and true. I mean, you can ask any old school and even new ones. I mean, sit-ups, push-ups, chin-ups. Yep. I mean, they take, a lot of people can't do them because they're hard, but they are, that is your baseline of where to start from. Or if you want to get help with your abs, a lot of it's nutrition, obviously, but hanging leg raises, laying leg raises, knee ups, things of that nature, because you have the most contraction in your abdominals. Absolutely. So little things like that, you can do those anywhere. Absolutely. If you're traveling, that's the excuse, right? Oh, I'm traveling, travel too much. Yeah. All right, stay with us right here, Consumer Quarterback Show. More from our expert contributors. Coming up, we got a special treat for you as well. Matt DiMaio, he's a memory expert, the Maestro Method, and he's got close to, 50,000 YouTube subscribers? Be Smarter, Faster, YouTube.com. Stay with us, Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it's Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore. Ask me about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to...
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
You're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We want to help you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. Got a couple of hot listings, and we promote our real estate properties live on air on our show. We got 516 Alternate 19 in Palm Harbor, and this is Alternate US 19 in Palm Harbor. This is a great opportunity to build a building, for a business. If you're looking to relocate, especially if you're paying rent. If you're paying rent right now, this is an opportunity you might want to look at. Build your dream office, professional location right in the heart of Palm Harbor. The walkability as well. You got restaurants right around the corner. Commercial site with frontage on both US 19 and DeSoto Boulevard, and the current zoning allows for mixed use purposes as well. Owner is motivated. You got water and sewer connected. Impact fees have been paid, and you also have the approved building plans as well. Alt 19. It's also 0 Alternate 19. You'll find it online as well. $199,000 just reduced as well. We've got another vacant land parcel available at 5604 Puritan Road in Tampa. This property is $114,000. Large lot, over a half an acre lot, 5604 Puritan Road, waterfront on the Hillsborough River, right off of 56th Street. I mean, that's a great opportunity. Commercial strip mall, business opportunity, half acre home site as well, $1 million views right on the river. You got bay access, of course, beautiful property. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com, PlatinumMVPTeam.com. And this segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Bilmar Beach Resort on Gulf Boulevard in Treasure Island. And I love going over to the Bilmar. They've got 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant right on site, so you don't have to go anywhere. Great opportunity to go and enjoy Tampa Bay at its best, right on the beach. Bilmar Beach Resort. Give Clyde Smith, the general manager, a call. Let him know the real estate quarterback sent you, so you can take him on special offers and discounts, opportunities, just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Book directly. Don't book on one of the other websites. Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got Matt DiMaio in studio here, the Maestro Method, and StartRemembering.com is his website, StartRemembering.com. So you wanted to talk about students first, right?
Right. We live in a world of information overload. Mm-hmm. And if you don't keep up, you get left behind. And people are very distracted these days, and students are really suffering.
Yes.
School is really good at teaching you what to learn, but not so good at teaching you how to learn it. I mean, think about it. You sit in class and the teacher will wag her finger at you or his finger at you and go, pay attention, listen to me when I talk to you, take good notes, do well on the test. And they don't teach you how to do any of those things. Did you ever take a class on how to pay attention or how to be a good listener?
Right.
And so people go through life thinking that there are no techniques to be able to do that. So what I did was I put together a YouTube channel where I teach real specific techniques to be able to help students out. So I've got a series on test-taking strategies. That's 3 parts. It deals with how to get a better score without even knowing the material any better. I have a 9-part series on instant concentration, how to focus your mind in a world of information overload.
Wow.
My most popular video is called How to Absorb Textbooks Like a Sponge.
Wow.
Now, I put this up a few years ago. There's no production value to it, just me standing in front of a giant whiteboard teaching a small church group. And this thing took on a life of its own. I put it up a few years ago, and this past September, it hit 1 million views.
Wow.
And since September, I've gained almost another 1 million views. I'm at like 1.9 and change. Wow. I'll hit 2 million views probably sometime in February.
Now, are you promoting that video? Or are you pushing it at all?
When you say promoting it, if you go to
StartRemembering.com?
if you go to youtube.com/be smarter faster. So you're on the wrong on the wrong website there.
Oh, that's
all right.
his name. So Be Smarter
Yeah,
Faster.
Be Smarter Faster is the actual title
Yeah.
of the YouTube channel.
Yep.
Now, when I talk about how to how to do well with textbooks, you would think that, when you get a couple of million views on a video, you're talking about a pop video or a funny cat video.
Right.
This is 8.5 minutes about how do you approach a textbook differently than the way you deal with a novel. The problem is most kids. You've got an eighth grader right now.
That's
Braylon
right.
Joe
Yeah.
is halfway through her 8th grade year now,
That's
right?
right. Yes, sir.
And so when you see a kid deal with a textbook, usually what they do is they start at the beginning of the chapter and they take notes and they highlight as they go page by page.
Yep.
And that's how they study. The problem is it doesn't stay in your head. So I teach a multi-part system in 8.5 minutes that's changed people's lives around the world.
Wow.
More than 30% of all my viewers are from India.
Wow.
But I mean, I've got people in countries that, quite frankly, I didn't know were out there.
Kazakhstan or whatever.
All kinds
There's
of
some weird
places.
names out there.
It's really something else.
That's
now,
cool.
for business people, these learning skills really translate to business people.
Yeah.
Because memory and I call it forgettery. I have a free giveaway on my site, Start Remembering, on how to triple your memory power instantly.
Wow.
And rather than talking about just memory, I teach the 3 causes of forgettery. What is it that causes you to forget stuff in the first place?
Right.
Do you ever leave home without that important document?
Sure.
Or you lose your keys, your wallet, your eyeglasses, and then you're in the house playing treasure hunt.
Yep.
Or you go to a networking event and you're looking to meet people, and 5 minutes later you can't remember any of their names.
Right.
Well, all of those things damage your reputation. They damage your credibility.
Right.
That stuff is expensive. It costs you money.
Yep.
And so what I do is I provide some very simple strategies. These are mental tricks. They're tactics. And they're not exercises. This is not like what Heather was talking about earlier, having to go to the gym every day and work out. Some of the stuff, if you want to be a superstar, you can do that.
Right.
But some of my stuff works instantly without any practice. It's like pushing a light switch and suddenly you learn how to concentrate better, or that I give you 3 different ways of being able to remember people's names once you meet them. It's pretty cool stuff.
Oh, I remember, Matt, when we met the first time, it was like, wow, you came in, you talked to our real estate team. We're talking with Matt DiMaio here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's got the Maestro method, and he's on youtube.com/be smarter faster, startremembering.com. And yeah, so when we spoke last time, I think number 1 was like, just care. You got to care enough to want to remember the name. Right. I think that was number 1.
Being that you're a football player and a fanatic, you'll see some people can remember the names and the stats of everybody on their favorite team or a whole bunch of teams, and yet can't remember their wife's anniversary or birthday or some important. It's not a question of ability.
Yep. One
of the things, as you pointed out, is you've got to care. You've got to care enough to do something about it.
Yes.
Just like when we were talking about working out.
Yep.
I mean, if somebody is blimping out on the couch and they go, I care that I'm overweight or I'm not in good shape. But you got to do something.
Got to make it a must, right? Got to make it a must. Got to get off someday I'll, right? Someday I'll
that's
do this.
good.
Right? That's right. So give us a quick tip here. We got a lot of business owners listening, a lot of mortgage, real estate, all types of folks listening to our show. What could be something they might be able to take away from the show?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because Greater Tampa Realtors, the GTARS had me in as a speaker. Yellowfin Realty has had me in as a speaker. One of the most important things that I teach are listening skills. Everybody tells you you've got to be a great listener, but nobody teaches you how to do it. And quite frankly, and you know this, once you become a better listener, it helps you improve your closing ratio.
Yes.
You're able to really focus in and pay attention.
Yes.
So 3 things that can help somebody stop forgetting and start remembering. Number 1 is you've got to get it. If you don't get it, you can't keep it. That means if somebody says, "Hi, I'd like you to meet my friend Mr. blah, blah, blah," and you wave and you, "Oh yeah, hi, how you doing?"
Yeah.
You didn't get the name. If you don't get it, you can't keep it.
Right.
To forget is to not get.
Yep.
Number two, as you pointed out, you've got to care. And you've got to care enough to do something. And number three, you've got to believe. Because what people believe is they say things to themselves like, "I'm horrible at remembering names.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. I must have the Alzheimer's."
Right.
Saying that is not the result of the problem. That's the cause of the problem.
So true, man. So true. I see that a lot, and you see it with Tony Robbins type videos, those types of videos, and it makes a lot of sense because we're constantly training our reticular activation system in our brain, the RAS. The same thing people do with incantations when they're saying, I'm blessed and highly favored, or whatever their favorite. I feel great. I feel fine. I feel like this all the time. So if you continually tell yourself that story, your subconscious mind's going to believe it, and then it's going to come out in your life.
Absolutely. So rather than saying that, suddenly I'm a believer and I believe it now.
Yeah.
You just say things to yourself like, "I'm going to remember you. How am I going to remember you?"
Yeah.
That's a great question to ask is, how can I?
Ooh, I like that. Because then that's going to evoke a question answer from them. And they're going to say, well, you might remember me from this, or you might remember I played football at University of South Florida, or you might remember. And I remember last time, Matt, you said, associate the name. So Matt, okay, I thought of a doormat or something along those lines.
Or a wrestling mat.
Yeah,
or,
whatever those keys in your mind.
I've got a friend of mine that calls me Matador. And when I was single, he would say, "Matador's the girls and the girls adore Matt."
Oh, nice. Yeah. Whatever it takes to, like you said, whatever it takes. Get it, care, believe. Get it, care, believe. And then you also reminded me of the FBI hostage negotiator. We had Chris Voss on the show. He's a top hostage negotiator for the FBI. And active listening was a key to his book. Throughout the book, it resonated. Active listening. The FBI uses 4 or 5 active listeners when they're negotiating with the bank robber or a hostage situation. There's listeners behind the scenes just listening to pick up those tells or those clues of what may have said that the person that's involved in the conversation may not have heard, because they're always thinking about what they're going to say next. So that person that's behind the microphone, for example, is thinking about what he's going to say next, or on the phone.
When I teach listening skills, I call it selling's greatest secret finally revealed. It's not magic. It just works like it.
Yeah, I like that.
And what I do is I ask deliberately tricky questions, and then I ask people what the answers are. And almost never, they almost never get the answers.
Interesting.
But then I teach them the 3 listening landmines. What is it that blows up your listening skills? And then once you understand where you're going off track, well, then you are able to follow the path. Just like in a minefield, you don't blow yourself up anymore.
Right.
And then as I go, what happens is people no longer fall for my tricky questions. So I do something that other speakers and trainers don't do. I can get you to improve your ability right there on the spot, right while you're sitting in front of my audience.
I love that. Awesome. All right, more from Matt DiMaio coming up here in our lightning round. Also, Heather Lalk in studio, and Fred Muth, the 10-man here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, coming up after this quick break from our sponsors here. And also, Dad builds custom gaming controller for daughter with disability. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here with
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star. The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember. Ask me about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
entrepreneurs, and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, you know, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And, of course, we're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals. Certified negotiation expert. And we would love to help you with your real estate business. Buying, selling, or investing, reach out. And 33308 Camerton Road in Wesley Chapel is a hot real estate listing that we have. This is acreage up in Zephyr Hills area, Wesley Chapel area, in Pasco County. 33308 Camerton Road, Wesley Chapel. Great opportunity to own in a rural opportunity here. So you have horses, cattle, poultry, all types of opportunities there in the Wesley Chapel area. And we also have a property at 4348 Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey. This is a $1.999 million property of ours, $2 million listing in Port Richey. Check it out, 4348 Harbor Point Drive. Bring your boat. You got a beautiful pool, bay access, of course, for the outdoorsmen, the fishermen in there. Beautiful opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving. The official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Brothers Easy Moving. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, they are a first-class organization. They did a great job moving our family to our new lake home. And whether you're moving local or long distance, I highly recommend Brothers Easy Moving. Gary, I've known Gary Thacker for a long time. He's a great owner, and they are a great organization. Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, every day we're going to tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
Okay, so a 9-year-old girl with a neurological disorder can now play video games just like her friends thanks to her father's brilliant invention. Rory Still built his daughter Ava a custom Nintendo Switch controller using a Microsoft device and various components from eBay for roughly $144. He said Ava, who has hereditary spastic paraplegia, which affects her motor control and speech, made the suggestion after seeing videos online. The device consists of 2 joysticks and arcade game style flashing buttons hooked up with an Xbox adaptive controller. Steele posted a video to Twitter of his daughter playing The Legend of Zelda and Breath of the Wild, and it's been viewed more than 1 million times. The video is also reposted by Bryce Johnson, founder of Microsoft's Inclusive Tech Lab and inventor of the Xbox controller, who also gave Steele some suggestions for the controller. So pretty cool. He posted and says, Ava gives my homemade accessibility controller V1 the thumbs up. She can play Nintendo Breath of the Wild on her Switch, all thanks to Microsoft Adaptive Controller. So pretty cool story there of a dad thinking outside the box and buying some parts on eBay. How cool is that? I love those stories. I love the feel-good stories here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, let's jump into our lightning round here.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning round.
All right, here we go. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Fred Muth, Tampa, screens and aluminum.
Well, my hat goes off to Matt. I was part of one of his demonstrations, and he got my attention real quick.
Yeah,
it worked. I can attest to it. It's good stuff. All right,
Well,
and
thanks, Fred.
now you're always a tough act to follow. You guys want to talk Super Bowl or aluminum?
There we go. There we go.
Anyway, I always I suggest to every homeowner, no matter what the project is, ask a lot of questions.
Yep.
It makes it easier for a guy like me, because if I miss something and if they ask the question, there's no surprises on the back end. There's
Right.
nothing worse in the construction business when there's a big surprise on the back end.
Yeah.
And that's a common problem.
Yep.
So
exactly.
make sure that you ask the questions. If the representative of the company is apprehensive about answering the questions, find a new representative or a new company. That's my opinion.
TampaScreens.com.
Tampa-
By the way, who is your
Tampa
Super Bowl pick?
Well, we talked earlier, Kansas City.
KC. They got the best quarterback in the league, don't they?
How many people heard that?
Yeah.
On the radio, right?
Right.
Worries me.
Exactly.
It's going to throw the betting thing the other direction.
It's going to throw it the other way.
Yeah, that's what's going
Right.
to happen. How about you?
I would say KC, man. They seem pretty strong.
The whole betting thing is now upside down.
There we go. It's off. It's thrown off. Heather Lalk, fit to a T.
Set yourself up for success, because if you aim at nothing, you'll achieve nothing. Write it down. How much weight do you want to lose? How much weight would you like to lift when you're strength training or get to? Which article of clothing in your closet do you want to fit your body again? Don't get rid of it. Keep it. And every so often while you're training, try it back on. It's great motivation. And set all the things up that you're going to be wearing that next day, including earphones, your tennis shoes, put them in a bag, put them in your car, do whatever you have to so you're ready to rock and roll.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have it ready to go, and then it's like, okay, that's done. I don't have to think. It's just wake up, throw the running shoes on, go out the door.
Right, exactly. So you don't even think about it.
Get active. Stay active.
Keep moving.
Keep moving. I like that. Matt DiMaio.
Well, first of all, I always enjoy coming on, and I'm always happy to see Fred. He threw me a little compliment earlier.
Yeah.
And Fred and we were in the green room talking musician talk. He plays 12-string guitar. I'm a working keyboard player. As a matter of fact, I just opened for Black Flag at Ferg's a couple of days ago, and New Year's Eve I played Ferg's for the Bad Company show, and so that's always a lot of fun.
I want to open for you, Matt.
There you go.
And a lot of sales organizations out there, I think I'd be really helpful to, because all of these learning skills that I teach really translate on a one-to-one basis with selling. Selling is transferring information to your buyer in a way that they understand it, and they think it's their idea. They really absorb the information well enough that they want to part with a check. And so I'm able to cover that. And for those of you that are forgetful and you want to learn how to remember people's names better, shameless plug, here's my book, How to Remember People's Names. Take a wild guess as to what that's about.
I like
By the
that.
way, you can get that and information. I've got a free report available at startremembering.com. And if you've got kids in school, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Be Smarter Faster.
Yes, we're gonna. That's gonna be homework for Raylan. We're gonna watch that video. We're gonna check that out. That'll help her. That'll help her a lot.
You tell her I said hi.
I will. Absolutely. All right. So my lightning round tip, I would say too, on the same note, is I think so many times we're bombarded by so many messages, and we set goals, and if we don't attain them within 3 months, 6 months, we give up, or we say, we did something, 15 times, 20 times, it didn't work. Well, what about, you hear about the Einsteins and the people that tried 1,000 times, to invent or to find out that new. So I would say, kind of think about how we see that in nature. One of the great stories I love from the great Les Brown is the Chinese bamboo tree. So the Chinese bamboo tree, it's a story that's told through nature on persistence and consistency, where you water the hard nut. So it's a hard nut. Think about it. It has to be in the soil. It's going to be watered every day for 5 years. You're watering, you're nurturing that seed, and that could be a seed of your business, a seed for your life, your sales cycle, your new business, whatever you're trying to grow, right? You got to consistently water and feed that seed. And then after the 5th year with the Chinese bamboo tree, it bursts through the ground, and then it grows over 60 feet tall within 6 weeks. Wow. So then the question becomes, was it a 6-week thing, or was it a 5-year and 6-week thing, right? Wow. So yeah, of course, it's long time perspective, right? It's those patients that we talked about, the Edward Banfield from Harvard. He talked about long time perspective, developing that, staying with it. And one of the things that I've done over my career too is I've looked back 5 years. If you look back 5 years and say, okay, where was I at 5 years ago? All right, great. I'm in a much better position now. So I think that's the key, is not to get too short-sighted and get let down when you don't have that goal within 3 months, 6 months, or a short period of time. Focus on the long term and keep at it. Stay with it. Stay consistent, and it's going to work for you. You just got to stay with it. So, hey, another great show. I want to thank Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. I want to thank Heather Lalk, Fit to a T, Matt DiMaio, the Maestro Method of Pleasure, to have all of you guys in studio here today. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food, hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. Donate some blood, donate some time to a volunteer bank, and maybe swing a hammer for Habitat for Humanity. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.